So you joined first year.
Yeah.
How was it? Now you're meeting some fine girls, some guys from all over the country. And because given that in primary school you went to Mombasa, high school Mombasa, and now here, you're still in Mombasa, yes, but now there are other guys from all over the country. Was it a new experience for you or you just,
No, it wasn't really, it wasn't much of a big deal to me.
Yeah.
Because even though I've lived in Mombasa, like Mombasa is cosmopolitan, so you have everyone from everywhere really.
Yeah.
So like having new people from all over Kenya wasn't much big of a deal.
Yeah. So you just got into class, started studying.
Yeah.
And I don't know if TUM teaches you everything you know from high school within a few months.
For chemistry and physics, yes.
Yeah. And then now start seeing things that actually you go deeper into different sciences.
Yeah.
How was that? Was it fascinating for you or?
So, I wrote my first program in my first year. I wrote my first C program in my first year.
Okay.
And I became so obsessed with programming that I don't remember most of what happened in campus. So I just remember.
Anytime you're not in class, you're writing code.
Yeah.
And
I used to write code on the ferry, because I had an Android phone, and then I downloaded a C compiler
on Android
the Android phone. So all my time in the ferry, still using the ferry then.
Yeah.
The ferry takes about 30 minutes going and coming.
Yeah.
So just so obsessed with the thing.
What was so interesting about the code?
I don't know. Like I said, it's just a natural inclination.
Yeah.
I was so fascinated by it. I just couldn't stop myself from doing it. It was more of like a possession more than an obsession, I would say.
You never encountered some bugs that discouraged you?
The bugs were even more interesting.
Oh, really?
It was why is this happening?
So you have something to research.
Yeah. So I did that in my first year. Then in my second year, I got my first laptop.
So, the first year you didn't have a laptop?
And I was programming on the phone.
Okay.
And then, of course, I was showing off to everyone who cared to listen.
Even the guys with the laptop, they were like, what? This guy is doing some amazing stuff.
I remember showing off to a friend called Mahmoud, my for loop, and how I was calculating 1 + 1 with C. So it was all very fascinating. So in my second year, I got my first laptop, and then I decided I want to do Android. So that long holiday, I spent that long holiday learning Java and Android.
Nice.
Yeah.
And which year was this?
This is my second year.
No, like which year?
So I joined in 2013. Could be 2014.
Yeah.
Because usually I joined the end of 2013. So semesters are September. A year runs from September to April.
Yeah.
So it should be 2015. Okay. 2015 March, the long holiday for April thereabouts.
Yeah, because the reason why I'm asking is because you said Android, and last time it was, I think, 2 or 3 years when I tried Android before you joined university, and it was super buggy for my laptop.
Yeah, like the emulator then was unusable. The Android emulator was unusable at that point.
Yeah, and I checked it a few months ago. It's really, like, what is there is really amazing.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, you can download. Because this is what happened actually. Maybe I should tell you what happened. So we went for this hackathon, which was 48 hours straight, hosted by Garage 48, which is now Nairobi Garage, and MPH 48. So the MPH was an investment vehicle for Garage 48, which was a hub. And in this 48 hour, I decided, okay, let me install Android so that I can set up some Android app. And we're working like a team of 5. Every time I download, and remember it was huge, like 5 GB or something. So when the internet dropped, I had to start from zero. There was no way I could start from where it dropped. So I tried that until 3 a.m. I said, okay, man, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. That's when I was like, man, to hell with it. And then when I checked it a few months ago, it was really easy. Like it's well packaged, and unless you need plugins and extras, you can actually download that as you build. Yeah. Which makes it interesting. Yeah. So for you, I'm sure you didn't get a Mac or
No.
a laptop with the 8 GB RAM by then.
No.
Was that a challenge for you, and how did you handle that?
The only problem I remember was the internet, because the internet was still expensive back then.
Yeah, very expensive.
So I don't remember stressing about the performance of the Android Studio on my device, but I remember the emulator being unusable. It was really slow. I just remember always plugging a phone in to
test your
instead of using the emulator.
Yeah.
So I remember saving up money to afford the internet, because it was like 6 GB for 1,000 shillings by Airtel. Wait, was it 1,000 or 4,000? It could be 4,000 for 4,000. It could be 4,000 for 6 GB.
Yeah. At the Safaricom discontinued the unlimited internet by then?
I don't remember. I was not using Safaricom. Yeah.
And now we're talking about this. As Airtel has always been good in Mombasa as opposed to Safaricom, or why Airtel specifically?
Well, because my mother used Airtel. I remember Orange being pretty good, because Orange had an unlimited package, but then they introduced the fair usage policy, which capped at some point.
Yeah.
So that was really stressful. Made life very hard for me, because I used to live on that internet.
Yeah. No, I mean, when I came here for the workshops and hackathons, I used to have a Orange modem.
Yeah.
And it really saved the day, because otherwise you don't depend on the provided wireless, because things might really overrun and spend time. So for you, just internet was the issue.
Yeah, I remember it being really expensive.
Were you able to save for 4,000 for 6 GB consistently?
Well, thankfully, yeah. Thankfully, yeah.
How are you? Why are you saving this? Where did you get this money to save?
I was doing contracting for
side projects
for people who had projects at school.
Oh, you're the guy to go to.
Yeah.
Even the 4 years now, I realized this dude who has just joined in the first year or second year. And he can do my projects, and then I can finalize on it, or maybe do the whole of it, and then all I need is to present. Oh, nice. How much did you charge for one project?
I don't remember exactly, but I think the one that is very clear to me was there's this guy who was asked to build a calculator of sorts, and then I did it for him for like 6 Gs, 8 Gs. It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money in school, man, because even there you're not getting that liquid cash coming to your way unless you have help.
Yeah. And I didn't. That's one thing. I never really used help in campus.
Yeah.
I tried signing up, and then it was too stressful, so I said to hell with these help forms.
Yeah. That was a good decision.
Yeah.
Because you pay it exorbitantly after you finish.
Yeah.
So that's how you were able to get the internet and start building now mobile solutions, specifically with Android and Java.
Yeah.
And I know Java sometimes can throw a lot of errors if you're not careful. How do you manage to now say, you know what, I've been building C, now it's Java, now it's Android, and then combine the two? Because now C, it gives you perspective of how things are compiled on the back end.
Actually, when I did C, I never understood how C structs work.
Yeah.
So, just by the way, really. I understood most part of C except structs and pointers. At that time, I couldn't conceptualize how they work. But I did Java because I wanted to do Android apps.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's I just got a Java book. I didn't do video tutorials. I got a book and said I'm going to read this.
Copy?
No, it was a soft copy. I said I'm going to read this book cover to cover.
Yes.
It's the worst idea that you can ever do, but that's what I decided to do.
Why is it the worst idea?
It's very time consuming.
Sometimes it's a technical book also.
Yeah. So what, the longer it is, the faster your motivation wanes as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I will recommend a tutorial to get started, and then a book for referencing.
And it becomes gradual. As you build, you're just referring to this tutorial to check if you're on the right track.
Yeah, so that's how I do it now.
But do you think if you are a bit stable in your career and you're doing something, is it also good to go to a book and go deeper in it?
Yeah.
Well, it's not like you're required to build a project with it. It's just that you want to get deeper insight on the language.
Yeah. So like right now, I'm building on my, like for my own curiosity, I'm building the TCP/IP stack, which is like how the internet. I want to understand what exactly happens when data is sent through the internet. So I'm building a TCP/IP stack using Golang, and to do that, I'm going through the TCP/IP Illustrated book, which is like 3 volumes of work.
Yeah.
So I still like.
And here we're talking 400 and above pages.
Yeah, it's
technical.
Because basically what they do is they define the protocol. Like there is a book that does the implementation as well, the same series.
Yeah.
But now I read the protocol and then I try to implement the protocol and then cross-reference my implementation with the one they provide in the book and see like what I got right and what I didn't.
Yeah. And this is specifically for Golang.
I'm doing it in Golang. I could have done it in any other language.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm doing it in Golang.
Interesting. It's very fascinating, man. Like you're doing all these things. And there was a time we spoke, I think a couple of years back, and you're building OS.
Oh yeah,
Swahili version of.
It was called the Little OS. I call it Lil OS, as like Little Wayne, so I call it
Lil OS.
Lil OS, yeah.
But then you didn't have that name. You just told me, I'm building this thing. There are a couple of guys we are building it with. When version 1 is out, we'll see how can we, get even guys. It was open source, right?
Yeah, it's still open source. Yeah.
Oh, it's still there.
Yeah.
But version 1 never came out, or
no, it never came out.
What happened, man? Our life happened.
No, it's because when I was building it, I wanted to understand how operating system works, and once I felt like okay, I understood how it works, and well, it's not going to be a serious product. So I decided my time is better used somewhere else.
Because I talked to a couple of community members who are and they were fascinated by it. One of them is Ken Other. And Jonyo. Actually, I lost him one of these fine days. He's really, really good. He used to work at Africastalking before when I joined Africastalking. Now he works with Mumo System and some other company. I'm not sure. But Mumo System is the one I'm sure. And when I talked about this in the community, they were like, wow, please point us to the right direction. We would love to contribute. That is really fascinated by such projects. He's another guy who is a nerd, man, all the way. So you for you to learn something, you build something alongside it.
Yeah, that's
it doesn't have to complete, but you just want to understand if I'm building it.
Yeah.
How does it run?
Yeah.
Does it cost you to buy extra hardware?
Only a few Raspberry Pis.
Why Raspberry?
Well, they're very cheap one, and I can get a lot of them.
So and you can test all these analogies with them? Yeah.
So especially like if I want to say I want to build a distributed system, I have enough Pis to like test the algorithm. So
yeah. Because for us, by the way, we did distributed system. You know what we did for the hardware?
What?
We had to couple up like 3 of us. And then we'd set up everything during the day, and then in the evening, that's when we test, when everyone is everywhere. So we'll share a link somewhere, and then we'll test if things are, you can manipulate that machine while there. So, yeah, that's a good concept you have brought by in terms of getting the Raspberry Pi. Yeah. So, at what point did you decide to drop off university?
Yeah, so what happened is, there was one time I was in class and I think the teacher was taking us through Java. By this time I've had like 4 months of reading Java. Like, so, as they say in Kiswahili, nimeiva. Or in Mombasa they will say nimekita. Like, I've really, my Java is really good at that time.
Yeah.
So the teacher writes, in Kenya, they write the program by hand on the blackboard.
Whiteboard.
Yeah. And I told the teacher, and I just like sort of blurted it out because I can be impulsive at times, so like too excited. So I just blurted it out that, okay, sir, that's not going to work because there was a syntax error. But then he ignored me. So I was like, I said, it's fine. So when folks in the class are running the program, it doesn't run.
It doesn't compile.
It doesn't compile.
Yeah.
So like at that point is when I knew I'm probably not going to finish my studies.
You are learning too slow than you can learn by yourself.
Well, it's like the feeling was like a realization, more of like an unintentional decision. Like a realization, you don't really intend for the decision, but sort of just realize it at a deeper level. Like, okay, maybe this is not the place for me. So I didn't really act on that realization. Like I didn't sort of drop out immediately. So when I was in my, I think, second year as well, or must have been second year, I saw Ahmed Mawi. And then I reached out to Ahmed Mawi.
Where did you see him?
He came to TUM to talk about Swahili Box. I think Swahili Box was just starting.
Swahili Box outreach.
It was a concept. Swahili Box was a concept at that time.
Yeah.
So I emailed Ahmed. I actually sent him a Skype message on his ultimate programmer email.
Then it was Skype.
Yeah, it's a funny story because Ahmed never replied to my Skype message up to this day.
Maybe I'd stopped using Skype.
But shout out to Ahmed. We're good friends.
Ahmed Mawi.
Yeah, we're very good friends. So he talks about Swahili Box, and I think, this is a really good idea. So I volunteered for Swahili Box for like close to 2 years. So after that, he ignored my Skype message. But then he said, okay, it's Swahili Box, this is where we are.
So you went there physically?
I went there physically.
That's how you met him, and you're like, I want to volunteer, I love the idea.
I said, okay, I'll be a volunteer.
Yeah, how can I help?
Yeah, and I was just trying to be as useful as I can.
Yeah.
Like anything and anything, like I'll do.
Yeah. And what is this anything and anything? You guys are here, you painted the whole...
We scrubbed the walls, actually.
The walls.
Like, that is why, like, whatever happened to Swahili Box is really painful to me personally. Because I scrubbed the walls.
No, let's put it the way it is. The current Swahili pot.
The space, the space that Swahili pot is in.
Yes.
The building that is.
It was in tatters.
Yeah, it was like... it was an abandoned building, in essence. So when we went there, we had to renovate it, and to do that, like, we actually scrubbed the walls by hands. Ahmed, myself, Ali, other folks. Daniel Otieno was there as well. A lot of folks. So when we were kicked out of the space, it was very painful.
I feel like something is stolen from you.
There's a sentimental value to
and really, what happened? Were you like, guys, leave? Or...
So by that time, I'd already left for Andela when the whole situation happened. So like, I don't have a lot of context exactly. But I know it is a very dicey issue to speak about. Of sorts. But yeah.
No, very soon we're going to speak about this thing. You'll hear
you'll have to bring in Ahmed to speak about it.
And then also bring the other side to speak about it so that we get the context, and maybe if people can drink tea, which I know is next to impossible. But this Swahili Box situation, Swahili pot situation, for me, the reason why even I pay attention to it is because I believe it's an ecosystem, and sometimes building an ecosystem when there's so much going on that is not fair to the participating party, it derails a lot of things that actually could grow that ecosystem.
Yeah, like every successful dev I know from Mombasa has gone through Swahili Box.
You see. Now imagine if it was really, there was no that chaotic takeover and misunderstanding and confusion and even hate, to say the least. How much could this ecosystem
it has been a huge distraction, actually, much to a disservice of the tech community in Mombasa. But you see guys like Daniel Otieno, Wayne, I think of the GDG, the GDG folks. They're doing a good job, like trying to bring the community, revive the community. So that's props to them.
And I think I would love to see guys come back together and try to build, not a must, whoever is willing and come with the lessons that have been learned. Because this ecosystem actually will be built to a proper place, because there's so many people who are interested in actually helping, but now they can't because of the bad blood, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this happens, and do you build software there or just...
So, while I was at Swahili Box, Ahmed gave me my first real job.
Well-paying job, you mean?
Not well-paying.
Very difficult job.
Not well paying by any means, just enough for me to afford my internet and maybe remaining with a few shillings as pocket money.
Okay.
But he subcontracted me to work on an app, on an Android app. So that was my first real Android job.
Yeah.
This is not now like school projects. We like to do like there's consequences.
Commercial.
Yeah, there's consequences
If
now.
it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Did that scare you?
No, I was actually very excited. I was very excited.
Man, this is gonna be used in the real world.
And Ahmed was very impressed. Fortunately. Yeah. I remember one message he sent me telling me I'm a rock star, so that really boosted my confidence.
Nice. And that's quite a validation from
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I respected Ahmed. I looked up to him.
Yeah.
I still look up to him.
Yeah.
So then at Swahili Box I also met Ali, a very nice guy. I also met Mtabe, Tanzanian friend.
Mtabe is crazy, man.
Yeah.
He's another guy I've been trying to... No. He's another guy I've gone to Tanzania twice.
Yeah.
Man, if you listen to this, Mtabe, but the second time actually he got into an accident and it was unavoidable.
Yeah.
So I totally understand. But we're gonna get all these guys into there. So because this chief used to travel from Arusha, come spend maybe a week here trying to help guys understand Ruby.
So you see how Tech Twitter sees cars now and they all want to be devs.
Yeah.
As we saw Mtabe and wanted to be devs.
But the dude is good.
Yeah, what Mtabe used to do is after a session at Swahili Box, probably not eating the whole day. Mtabe takes us to a restaurant and buys for us food.
A good restaurant.
You see, this is the life.
You're like, man. Do you know why we buy food for any event I'm involved in? Really good food and a good experience. Even take guys out for a beer or two afterwards. It's the same thing, because you see sometimes when you're doing something like programming, it's hard. It's not an easy one.
Yeah.
Especially when you're learning. It's because I try to paint this picture that if you actually put in the work, it's actually even much better than that.
Yeah. So until then we were just doing programming out of passion, but we realized we could be successful.
Very successful
through Mtabe, because Mtabe he showed us the life.
Yeah.
So it was a big inspiration. He was also the guy who taught me how to use Vim.
Oh, nice.
And
do you still use Vim?
Yeah, I still use Vim. So
now I know two guys in Mombasa who use Vim.
Well, but I say it's not you should use whatever you find helpful. To me, I use it because it helped me stay in flow. Because I get distracted easily by all the widgets in other editors. So I use it because it helps me stay in flow.
Yeah. You know Brian Mugweru?
Brian was my classmate in campus.
Yeah, he also uses Vim. And he's really...
I hope I'm the one who inspired him. I'm kidding.
Yeah. And so you build this Android app, you submit, you're a rock star. Then what?
Yeah, so then Andela came at that point. Andela was launching. I applied to Andela, and then I was with a friend called Harrison Kamau. You might know him.
I know Harrison
from
Kamau.
Ruby.
He's a member of the community. Yeah.
So Harrison and I met. Actually, Harrison and I know each other very well.
Okay.
Yeah, we met at Swahili Box.
Oh, yeah. I remember him telling me he's from Mombasa, and he has ever even come for the Ruby workshop that I did some time back. And I was like, how come? He's one guy who can be in the room and you will not know. So when he told me that, I was like, you must be in the room because he remembered everything. So you guys were classmates also? Or?
No, we met at Swahili Box.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's when Andela came.
Yeah.
We prepared together. And then
for the submissions and interviews?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we were both called for the Andela interviews now in Nairobi.
Yeah.
That was my first time in Nairobi.
We have never been Nairobi in your life.
Nairobi in my
life.
Wow. Yeah. So when I left campus, folks were preparing for the exams.
That is third year, second year, fourth year?
Third year, second sem.
Okay.
for their cuts, I think.
Yeah.
So I knew there's no coming back. There is no coming back. I knew that I have to make it work. Like I have to. There is no coming back.
Did your mom know about this?
Yeah, but you see, also self-sponsored is very expensive.
So
it was
less expense for her.
Yeah. So and then I'd done some work for Ahmed, so Ahmed paid me, and then I was able to put fare together and go to Nairobi. So Harrison and I, that was my first time in Nairobi. I remember it being so cold.
Yeah.
Like
of course.
my nose were bleeding.
Oh, it was that serious?
Yeah, it was very cold at that time.
Wow.
Nairobi is warmer these days.
No, maybe you have been used to it.
Yeah.
And you also have gone to the colder places.
Yeah.
Nairobi is nothing.
Yeah, so that was my first time in Nairobi.
But then Andela used to get people hostels, right?
No, that was after you get in, you get a hostel.
Did they assign you or just look for a house?
No, after you get in, like after you pass the interview.
So you went for the interview?
I went for
Not that you went and qualified.
No.
Okay, that was later.
That came later. So I say that a friend's friend, Harrison's friend's house. We call him. He's called George. So George gave us his space. We crashed there for 2 weeks because Andela's interviews are not one day. So. And then at the interview, that's where I met Nanda and Ndiga.
They were the one who were interviewing.
Yeah, Nanda and Ndiga knew Ahmed, so the interview was a bit easy. If I knew I'd passed through Ahmed, then they had worked with Ahmed, so they thanks to like that relationship, the interview, like it was not a hard interview. To get now to this is like the first face-to-face interview, and then after that comes the 2-week period.
Did they do lit code and stuff?
No. They were just asking questions, like basic questions.
Yeah.
I remember you were given like a piece of paper, and then there was a program. Then you asked to do what will this program output, or what to find a bug in this something along those lines. Yeah. And then that happened. Then we were called. Both Harrison and I were called now for the 2-week boot camp. Yes, it was called a boot camp.
Boot camp,
for the 2-week boot camp.
Is it? Was it that
Kilimani?
Jodo or something?
Dojo.
Dojo. I keep twisting.
Kindaruma Road, Kilimani, Kindaruma Road. Yeah, so.
And I was just there.
Exactly. So those 2 weeks were very fascinating because all through my project worked all through except on demo day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my project.
The demo goals were not on your side.
Not on my side.
Yeah.
But thankfully, they usually ask you to demo before, like the facilitators ask you to demo to them before you demo to the whole. So because you need to demo to the whole company during demo day. Yeah. So I demoed to Nanda and it worked. So Nanda had seen it working. So when it didn't work, actually I couldn't log in, so I couldn't demo anything.
So it looked like it's not your project.
Well, no one saw the features. So I just said, like, if this had worked, if the login had worked, then this is what would have happened. Okay. But it had worked the previous day.
Did you forget your email, your password? What happened? Or the login module was broken?
I suspect it was a caching issue. Because after I passed my interviews, after I got in, I never bothered to investigate again.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And you never got to present this to the whole company?
No, I didn't demo it, but I demoed it to Nanda the day before the big demo. So Nanda had seen it working.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it was like this actually worked.
Yeah, like it, and also like all through the 2-week period, you have to sort of give status updates about where you are on the project. Yeah. So that was a very fun time. Like it was very stressful as well. And so
why was it stressful?
Because you had such a short period of time to do a lot of things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it's because you're scared. If I don't qualify, I'm going back to home.
No, like I knew I was
there
getting
was no going back.
There's no going back. Like I either get in or get in.